Hello and welcome to Express Thoughts. This is a new section on learning how to work with WordPress content management system. As you can see, if you've looked at our website, you find that originally it was based on Drupal. I come from a Drupal background. However, I decided to take a dive into the WordPress CMS. I believe WordPress is the most popular content management system out there. We've got several other ones like Joomla, Drupal, and other ones. So we're going to be learning how to work with the WordPress content management system. So these screencasts will be for new learners and people with Drupal background who would like to see what the WordPress CMS looks like. So to start out this tutorial, we'll first learn how to download the WordPress CMS, extract it and install it. So call this how to install the WordPress CMS. For those who are new users who have never built a CMS before or worked with any kind of content management system, the first thing you want to do is download a server, a local server on your local machine. One of the ones that you are available out there is WAMP server. We've got XAMPP server, but for this tutorial I'll be using the WAMP server. So go ahead and you can download whichever one you think works best for your operating system. Once you download it, make sure to start up your server. So when you start up your server, you go to your web browser and type localhost, and you should see a list of websites on your local server. Right, so to start this tutorial, the first thing you want to do is go ahead and download the WordPress 3.6. 3.6 is the most recent download as of the time of this recording. Whichever one you find, go ahead and download this. For this tutorial, I've got the 3.5 WordPress already downloaded. There's a reason for this. We'll see that in later on in the tutorial. So I'll go ahead and extract this here. Right, once you've extracted your WordPress download, you should find a folder called WordPress. You can rename this folder to any name you like. So for this one, we will call this rename to Express WordPress. And once that's done, it appears there. So if we go to our local host, refresh that, now we should find express.wordpress folder listed. And if we click on that, brings us to our installation page. Now if you can read, it says there doesn't seem to be a wp-config.php file already installed. Now there are two ways of installing WordPress and creating these wp-config files. Either you create it automatically by saying create a configuration file, or you do it manually. So we'll do both of them quickly. So if I go back to my tutorial, my folder, click on the folder, and you can see a sample of what it should look like. I'll go ahead and copy this and create a copy of that, rename these to wpf config. Once that's done, I'll open that in IDE, which I can use. So I'm going to be using the Aptana Studio. So you want to put your DB name, your database user, password, hosts, and other stuffs. I have created a database called WordPress, which is already listed here. So if I go back to my IDE and I change the name of my database to WordPress, my user is root. I change that to root, and my password, I've not got no password. And my host remains localhost. Once that's done, I click on save, come back here and come here. If I come back to this page now and click on refresh, you should find now it takes us to a different page, meaning we are ready to install. All you simply need to do now is type in your site title, your username, your password, your email, and decide if you want the search engine to index your website. The other way of doing this, if we go back to our folder, what I'm going to do is close the Aptana Studio, click on OK, and go back to this folder. I'm going to delete my wp config file. I delete that. Now if I come back here and click on refresh, you see we are back to that original page we were. So this time we want WordPress to create the configuration file for us. So I click on create configuration file. It says you should have created a database name, your username, a password, a host. Click on let's go. So my database name is WordPress, my username is roots, my password, I've not got no password, host is localhost. I leave the remaining and click on submit, and you find out, I click run the install, that it is created our WP config file. If I come back here, we can see that file has been created for us by WordPress. Right, so the next thing we want to do is give our site a title. We call it Express Stats. Username, admin, give a password of password, whatever like you like. Email, ABCD, yep. Allow search engines to index the site, not for now, and I click on install WordPress. Beautiful. So it tells us success, your WordPress has been installed. Were you expecting more steps? Sorry to disappoint. And so yeah, it's really easy. There are just 2 steps. Create a WPF config file, create your site information, and simply log in into your website. And so type in your username and the password. You can decide to remember me on this computer or simply click login. When you log in, the first thing is you should find out that you've got the dashboard. Do not worry, do not be scared. I'll take you to what your website is going to look like. Click on Express Dot and visit site, and you should see your website the way it looks to the normal users. The first page you saw initially was dashboard. The first page you saw is the admin page. So in case you mistakenly sign out of your WordPress website, in order to get back to your admin page, say for example your website is www.jjb.com and you want to go to your dashboard page, simply after the slash type in wp/admin, and it should take you to the login page, and simply click on login. And once that's done, you should see your dashboard. So that brings us to the end of this screencast on how to install the WordPress CMS. I'll see you in the next lesson.